Hey guys, here we are. This is Başak, yoga therapist and teacher and an engineer.
Hello, guys. We are here. This is Kate, and we is a podcast about learning, awakening, and empowerment, where spirituality and wisdom guide us to live with clarity, purpose, and inner strength. Welcome.
Hey, today we are talking about Aparigraha.
Ooh, say that 10
Apari
times.
It's in yoga, this term comes up a lot. Aparigraha means non-grasping, non-hoarding. So we are going to talk about the freedom of letting go.
Yes, yes. It's one of the yamas, so sort of like restraints upon yourself.
Mhm.
And it's a very basic one, but it's a very deep one as well. Because you can think of
Yeah.
it, right, as, non-grasping, so not being greedy, not trying to hold on to things. And so we can think of that in a materialistic kind of way, right? So,
Yeah, we are, as humans, naturally clingy, right? We are clinging to security, to identity, to certainty, to comfort, material things. So that's just so innate within us. But I think the question is, what are you holding on to that's preventing you from truly living,
right.
right? And we can explore that through spirituality, through relationships, success, money, aging, fear, even wellness culture in all aspects. But let's talk about the material point of view
Yes,
first.
yes. So that's very basic. I mean, if you think about it as a baby, one of the first things babies learn to do is to hold on to things, right? So the baby is right away because we're trying to figure out the world. So there's some good things about learning that because we need that. But then you have to know when not to grasp, when to let go, you know? And sometimes that's
Yeah.
forced upon you. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had anything stolen, but that's such a huge
Mhm.
lesson when you've
Yeah,
had.
the wallet, that kind of stuff, many times.
Yes, yes. And when that happens, you freak out, right? You freak out.
You
And
freak out. I think that, the paradox is that the tighter we hold, the more anxious we become, right?
yes, yeah,
Uh, because we feel that our state of mind, our presence, our well-being, our identity, or our even literally identity, like identification cards, are all depending on the thing that we hold tightly.
yes.
But then not having to lose that creates a lot of anxiety too. I think the freedom comes not from having more, but from needing less. And that is a whole another, I think, mind shift.
It is needing less, but it's very difficult. We were just talking about this about in our culture today about
Yeah.
recognizing that because we are bombarded always with these things. Oh, you need this. Oh, you need that. You need that new pair of shoes. You need that new whatever yoga mat because it's so much better. And it's
Yeah.
really difficult to
I am literally actually right now on the hunt for a new yoga mat, as you are saying that.
no, really?
And it's funny that because before I came to Turkey, I was going to buy one. And then I looked at my closet, all the old yoga mats that I have. Then I realized I have also yoga mats in Turkey that I've been storing here and there. And I'm like, why do I need a new yoga mat? I have yoga mats,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But you're right. There's this conditioning of, constant rush of advertising. This is better.
yeah.
This is the latest one. This is, more grippy or whatever it may be. Um, it's
Is that
just, yeah,
is
it's
that
crazy.
what did you stop and think about why you thought you needed a new yoga mat? Like what was it?
It's almost like if I have a better yoga mat, that my practice will get better, which
Absolutely.
is so crazy,
It
right?
well, it's so, but that's exactly what it is. If I have that dress, I'm going to be
Mm,
better at work, or I'm going to be more attractive
yeah.
to this person or that, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
Yeah, so there's a deeper questions to be answered,
Right.
right? In wanting to have things too much.
Yeah.
But in yoga, we notice that when we stop grasping, prana or life force flows more freely,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because that grasping tightens everything,
Yeah.
literally tightens your body, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think the question to ask again is, what am I afraid will happen if I let this go? If I don't want that next thing, what if I don't have it? What's going to happen?
Right.
Yeah. And in
I
yoga, we have this concept you don't own anything anyway. You're simply borrowing everything, right?
I
Everything in life we learn that is temporary. I mean, even the thing that you want so much, after a while, you lose, your attraction to it or your desire to hold on to it. Our
right.
bodies, our possessions, our careers, our relationships, even our roles eventually changes, don't they?
So when does this desire or greed or wanting things, how does it stop? What can you do? Or
I
does it
think
ever
it's the
stop?
knowledge, right? That's the yogi's answer is coming from the avidya to vidya, from ignorance to deeper knowledge, spiritual knowledge. And then when we realize that, that illusion of ownership or accumulating more only creates more suffering.
Yeah.
More stuff, more problems, right?
Right. Right.
More money, more problems.
Right.
So that rather than having this ownership, can we be just a caretaker of things? Can we, rather than the attachment, can we turn attachment into gratitude of what we have,
Yeah,
rather than what we don't?
I think that's a very good point. But I mean, I think we should also just be clear that um, I believe in the yoga philosophy too, is that you do need to have things to be able to, not have things, but things that you do need, like a
Yeah, basic
house,
needs to be
basic need, right?
absolutely
Right. So
to
you
be,
do need to,
yeah.
in our culture, we need to make money to have that, right? So it's a question of when do you not need anything more? What
So
is
what you're
more?
saying is this, like the enough. When is
Yes.
enough? What
Yes,
is enough? How do we define enough, right?
exactly.
Enough
That's the
money,
question.
enough success, enough recognition, enough productivity.
Right.
So I think because without enough, life becomes about this endless chase.
Endless chase, and it's exhausting. Right? It's
Right. So
exhausting.
I think the what supports that idea is contentment.
Yes, Santosha.
Can I be content with what I have?
Right. Right.
Can
And
I say enough?
and then to that contentment is what you had just said before, is if how you can cultivate that is by having the gratitude for everything that you do have,
Yes.
right? And you
Yes.
remind
And
yourself.
the greed
Yeah.
that we all have certain amount of greed, and greed isn't about money, right? There's like
Yeah.
it shows up with wanting more attention in our culture, especially, with TikToks and Instas and all that, or needing to be right. That is
Mm.
also part of greed, right?
Mm.
Or
Needing to
like collecting all
control
these achievements, needing to control,
other
right?
people.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or chasing compliments,
Yeah.
right? Or even, I think we were talking about that before, Kate, consuming information,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes. That
When is
one,
when is that enough?
I know. And that to me blows my mind a bit because I sort of feel like chasing after information and knowledge is a very good thing to chase after. And
Right? But
yes,
even that, they are saying, there has to be some balance.
right.
I think like maybe that is balancing knowledge with action, right? So that, you're not just constantly grasping, grasping, grasping and not putting out, right? You need to kind of balance both in a way.
Right.
Um,
So giving
and
back. So if
then,
you're learning, then you give back
yeah,
the knowledge or yes, teach or just share. Yeah.
share, right? And then also, I think overworking.
Yes, people do that a lot. Yes, but why do they do that? Because they just never feel as if they're really successful, they're really getting what they want. I mean, it's just, yeah,
And
that's
then saying yes to everything.
I don't do that
But I
anymore.
think we all do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's a practice. It took me a while to realize, especially coming from a culture I come, like, you're supposed to say yes to things if you are, you have to be giving, and that's very Turkish culture. But when you don't do that, you're like, oh, you are becoming selfish. No, I'm actually taking care of myself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's a new shift also in mentality too. But I think that, again, a question to ask maybe for someone who does that, like, what emptiness are you trying to fill?
Yeah. What's the hole that you're trying to fill? Right. I
Right,
know.
because see, I think the key to a lot of these things that we are talking about, to ask deeper questions.
Right. Hmm.
On the surface, things might may be certain way, but that may come from, again, conditioning, so many different reasons. But what do you personally are trying to get out of something? What
Right.
are what emptiness you are trying to fill?
Yeah.
And then I think if we keep asking those questions, go deeper and deeper, we can get more information about our motivations.
Right, right. Well, I was giving you that example of when I was working at the library on something, and then I decided in my head, I was like, oh, maybe I should stop at the shoe shop on the way home. And oh yeah, there's some slip-on shoes I've been seeing on something. Those would be really cute when I started thinking to myself, what? And you know what I think it was is because I don't think I was quite satisfied with the work that I was doing. And so it was sort of a
Mhm.
distraction, right? I think I didn't quite accomplish what I thought I would in that time period where I was working. And I think this would be an easy accomplishment to go and buy a pair of shoes, right?
That's fantastic. I
Yeah.
think that's a great example of why we shop.
Yes.
There's a lot of shoppers I know in my life. I used to be a terrible shopper too, like that, emotional shopping. You're
Yes.
right. If something isn't, how you want to be, that you can control, something that you can control is easily achievable, something either that or food, right? That
Yes.
can be also part of a control idea.
Control thing. So what, how does someone like someone who's a hoarder, like how does that fit
Oh my
into
God.
that? Yeah. Have you ever thought about
Talking
that?
about hoarding,
Yeah.
like, there's so many different kinds of clutter, right? Not just the closet clutter. We talk about that a lot,
Mhm.
but that clutter is also mental, right? That's your environment is the expression of your mental space. So that if I see somebody with so much stuff, like, how is their mind space, emotionally, mentally?
Yeah.
Digital clutter is one of them, to which that reminds me of, I need to clean up my mailbox, and also
Yes.
my all these like files that I have that I haven't maybe used or touched in a long time.
Yes.
Um, what else? Spiritual clutter.
Yes.
There
Well,
is that.
spiritual clutter. I don't know what spiritual clutter is. Is like, is that
It
what is
maybe it
spiritual?
could be just, um, there are people who in the, to find the right path or spirituality, go all over the place, million podcasts, many courses, and different ideals, and they just immerse themselves. Well, you can tell that it's nothing wrong to try to find your path and listen to different things, yes, but to a level, I think,
Yeah.
right? If we just overwhelm ourselves with all of that, then again, there's like, it's not balanced, right?
Right. Right.
How do we find the little bit balance there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Physical clutter we talked about. So I think every form of clutter just steals your attention, right?
Yes.
And that's why, like, every spiritual culture actually says that, live simply,
Yep.
minimalism.
Yep. And live generously, isn't there something I
Oh,
think you've told me about when you say to a real yogi, if they have something like, oh, that's so beautiful, that thing, they often just take it off and say, here, it's yours. I mean, I just,
yes,
that full on complete sense of whatever's mine is yours.
beautiful.
I know. It's very,
And even I like the fact that, in yoga culture, when it's your birthday, you don't accept gifts, you give gifts to
yes.
people.
Yeah.
Look how beautiful is that? Like, ultimate, like, giving,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
not
very good
taking.
lesson. Yeah. We should try that. I was just thinking in our family. I think
I like that.
yeah, we should try that. I like that idea.
Yeah. And then, of course, when we just constantly observe things, grasp things, we're also grasping other people's stuff too. Maybe not wanningly or not intentionally, but like, for example, expectations of the family, guilt, old identities or resentments, other people's opinions, some labels maybe from a childhood even, fears that don't belong to you, somebody else's fear that you own as yours. So they're all, I think, forms of hoarding.
So, that's sort of a subconscious way of hoarding, like because those are things that are so in order to get rid yourself of those, you need to dig deep. That's where, meditation, etc.
Yeah,
Because those are some things that you may not really understand that you are holding on to.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right. Can you, I mean, and I think the solution is given is, for this hoarding or, really tightly, grasping is maybe loosening your grip and trusting more,
Yeah.
trusting that, life has your back,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? There's
Yeah.
this beautiful metaphor, traveling light through life. I wrote that in my newsletter this month.
Yeah.
Um, you know, like if you were going on a trip, let's say, would you pack everything that you own?
Absolutely. Not.
You only would take things that nourishes your journey, that actually
Mhm.
necessary for your journey, right? So imagine, like, as we go through life, if life is a journey,
Mhm.
how much baggage we are carrying with ourselves.
Right.
Even the things that are not ours, we are carrying.
Mhm.
Things we don't think anymore that way, we are carrying.
Yeah.
So how much lighter we would feel if we didn't have to carry so much.
When I first graduated from college, after working for a year, a friend that I met working, she and I did traveled for a year. We got one of those tickets around the world, and so we could only take for a year like a backpack, not like a backpack that you could really carry on your back, so bigger than a regular backpack. But that's all we took. And it was
Wow.
such a lesson of, like, first of all, choosing what to take, what would be useful, and then just, being okay with it because we didn't have any money. We kind of worked on our way around there, around the world. And so, and then after a while, it didn't matter, it really didn't matter because we were
Yeah,
seeing so many different things and meeting people and new cultures. Like that was feeding us, and so the stuff didn't
that's the
matter.
thing.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, we were, when we were in India this past January, we were wearing the same clothes day in, day out. And we were cold and we were kind of borrowing each other's stuff to get warm.
yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable how much joy that created just having that shared experience and just basically, yeah, being there, doing spiritual practices, visiting places that are important to us.
Yeah,
You're right. Life cannot be about what I possess.
I
That
know.
cannot give you happiness. Experiences give you
I
happiness,
know.
right?
And other
And
people,
relationships,
yes,
connections. Yeah.
relationships, right. And I think this all speaks to our isolation from each other. I mean, that's why often we shop too, because we maybe are not talking to people or being with people or enjoying people's company, and we're lonely and we feel unfulfilled. And so I'll buy a sweater, you know? You
Yes.
know? It's
Yes.
crazy. It really is crazy where we
Yeah.
are in this
One
age.
of the great yoga paradoxes is, is closed hands cannot receive,
Yes.
right? If you hold on too tight, and closed hearts cannot love,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? If your mind is closed, you cannot learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes people think that letting go is like a loss,
Right.
but it's actually making room.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think that people think when you let go of things, like, and even when you're letting go of ideas and stuff, that you're just empty, but you're not. You're full.
Mm-mm.
You're full in a different way,
Mm.
You're full of possibility. You're full of the ability to go any which way. Like there's just so much more you can do. If you're holding on to things, you're sort of stuck, holding on to ideas. that keeps you on that. Maybe it's a really good idea, but you keeps you on that one path. Maybe open up and there's new possibilities. I mean, what is life about except kind of discovering new things, right? I mean, I don't know.
Right.
What is life about, Arshak?
I mean, I think we are not also saying that, oh, renounce life. We
No.
are not talking about that either. We are
Yeah.
saying renounce your attachments in life.
Yes. Yeah.
So we can enjoy relationships, our work, our homes, our accomplishments, all of that. They are all great to enjoy, but just to remember that they are gifts. They are not possessions,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
then maybe we can become more present, because when we think of them as ours, then there is this stress of holding on to them and trying to possess them. And, that tightness is what we want to let go, really.
Yeah. But I was thinking, so one time I had something stolen. I've had lots of things stolen when my life was a little bit wonky. Which is interesting, when my life was kind of unsettled and I was moving places or going places. Those are the two big
Mm.
times when things were just taken from me. And one time, the stuff that was taken was something that no one else would have been interested in. It was like papers and letters, and and there were letters that it's so interesting. I think that I remember the letters more because they're gone. If I had them
Oh,
here
wow.
in the house, I wouldn't think about them because I knew I had them in the house somewhere, and one day I'd look at them. But I
Yeah.
remember these
Because
letters
they were taken away from
because
you
they were
and
taken
you
away from
remember.
me, and I just always think
Yeah.
that's so incredible. So I'm in some ways like
Yeah.
thankful for them being taken away.
Yeah.
It's really strange, huh?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I wrote down one of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali that says, when one is firmly established in Aparigraha, knowledge of the why and how of one's existence dawns. So it's saying, I think, that that habit of grasping, when we release that, our minds become much clearer, that we can actually perceive our true nature and our true purpose
Yeah. Yeah.
when we let go of the ownership.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. And it's a great meditation to do, I think, is to.
Yeah, if you'd like go through everything that you want. But I have some talk asking
Oh, you
questions
do?
for the
Okay, good.
audience.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
yeah.
Good. And so,
So if
so
you want to just practice this, how do I let go? Conscious or unconscious holdings, right?
mhm,
So the first question is, what are you afraid to let go of?
a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So pick one. You don't have to say which
yes.
one, but just pick one. Tell me when you have it.
I have one.
Okay. So um, does owning that actually serve you?
What happens if it's not a thing?
A person, you're gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
you can.
not as you not that you own a person, but you own the relation.
Like,
You're part of the
yeah,
relationship. Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, like, yeah, you won't let go. Like it's tight owning. And then what owns you in that?
Oh, within that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
right?
Yes, yeah. And then what?
And then when does healthy ambition of that becomes grasping? There has to be a healthy desire, but then it becomes a grasping.
Right,
When does that happen, right?
right. That's when fear of loss comes in. That's when it
Mm,
becomes
mm.
grasping, right?
And then
Yeah.
what would enough look like in your life?
Now that's a great question. I think that's a great meditation question to sit and say, what is enough in my life? What is enough
Yeah,
of
and we
things?
all should think about that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't think about that, we are letting the social media and marketing teams tell us what
Yeah.
is enough or not enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
agree.
we all should literally sit down and think about that thoroughly.
Yeah.
What my life looks like when I feel enough.
Right. Yeah.
And then if everything changed tomorrow,
Yes.
who would you still be?
Well,
Right?
I have thought about that a lot, but that's because of the yoga
Mm.
practice.
Yes.
I have thought if I lost everything, whatever that means,
Right. Right.
I, I would still have myself, capital S.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And I
And we
believe
would
that.
move to ashram in India.
I guess so. Or I'd come stay with you, right?
Okay. What are you trying to control is the next question.
Yeah, that's a,
And the
yeah,
last question is, what is one thing you could release today that could create more peace for you?
yeah. Oh, those are great questions, all of them to contemplate. We should put those in our little chat if anyone wants to
I
read
will
this.
put them
Yeah,
in the chat.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
at least few of them I would put that are, I think, very important for everyone to ask themselves at least once.
yeah. I agree. I
And
agree.
ask again in 10 years' time, because again, we change.
Yes,
Things change, we change, hopefully we grow, we evolve a little bit more.
yes.
We have
Hopefully.
easier answers to some of those.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So non-hoarding, aparigraha, not grasping everything.
yeah.
So that's a big concept in yoga.
It's
And also even in yoga, when you are this we can all relate to that, when you're able to do something so well last year and this year you can't. You
yeah,
can't be attached to that.
right.
I have clients that are so upset because they are getting older and they can't do the things they used to do.
Yeah.
And every session they have to express that. you know and they get so mad at their bodies because again the eternal nature is free and young and capable, and
Yeah.
this body is aging naturally, but they can't come to, so that's grasping, right?
Yes.
Again, holding on to, and we all have that.
We all have
So,
that.
and I
Yes.
try to tell them, as a, what if you didn't know what you were able to do last in the past, and you start today? What
Oh,
can
I
you do
love that.
today?
That's very
But
good.
yeah, well, I don't know
Yeah.
if it works every time, but like, yeah, I ask that to myself a lot.
But and also it makes me think too of just being gentle with yourself. I mean, it sounds like they're
Yeah.
quite harsh on themselves, right?
Yes. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
just kindness, gentleness goes a long way
Yes,
too,
it
because
does.
there is no kindness in holding tight.
There's none.
Holding tight is like suffocating, right? There's no kindness in that.
Yeah. I remember a
Yeah.
very good friend of mine once asked when she was staying with me down in the in North Carolina, there were all these shells that had been collected, and they looked beautiful in this one place. And she said, "Can I bring the shell to my kids because it's so beautiful, that shell?" And I said no. And then as soon as I said no, I heard how horrible it was. And then I said, oh, no, 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 of course, because I had just loved how it looked too. And I didn't, and then, but as soon as it came
Yeah.
out of my mouth and saw her disappointment and felt it, I felt terrible. And so, of course, I was like, no, no, take it. And she's like, no, 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 I don't. So it was horrible. And if I had just said yes, and you see, I'm still holding on to that mistake
Yeah.
I made,
Yeah.
because
Ah, be kind.
I know, because
No,
I
forgive
also think of
yourself.
myself as a kind person. So it
Ah,
slapped me in my face,
attachments.
like, yeah, am I really a kind person? Maybe
Well, I
not.
think
You know?
it's just an opportunity to like go even deeper, right? In that, I
Absolutely.
mean, we can, because there's so much more depth into that being kind or being generous.
Yeah.
I just love, again, being generous to the level of discomfort, right?
Yes.
That's like still we are, working on that. I
Yes.
know it's just,
Yeah.
but your story reminded me that I once, we were in Africa, and there
Mhm.
was this incredibly beautiful white, white, white sand in Kenya, in Mombasa. That was this gorgeous. I've never seen such a white sand, such a fine white sand,
Mhm.
and I loved it so much. I took some and
Oh,
brought it home,
wow. Yeah.
just a tiny little bit. Brought it home, put it in a vase, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna remind me, such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't as beautiful at home. because
Oh,
it was there. It belonged
yes.
there. And
Oh,
rather than having, just like taking a photograph, none of the photographs give you the feeling when you were experiencing the
yeah.
place, the situation, the environment. I mean, it's a nice reminder, of course,
Yes, yes.
not the
But
same.
it's not the same. How interesting. And did it take you a while to realize that? I mean, when did you come to that realization? You had the sand and the thing, and then did you just eventually throw it away, or what did you do with it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I eventually threw it away.
yeah.
I know, it's terrible. But I'm at least letting go.
Yeah, you're letting go. That's a good idea. But isn't that interesting? Yeah, because you just wanted to take a piece of that with you, you wanted, and you,
Yeah, it's like grasping, literally like
yeah,
grabbing, like
yes,
wanting for myself. But
yeah,
no, it's beautiful there,
right, right,
right?
yeah,
In its environment.
yes,
I
yeah.
know. So yeah, again, the levels of this stuff is just
I know.
a
And it's
lot.
just the self-examination, and you just keep looking at yourself and looking at things that you've
But in
done.
the way of
Yep.
gentle and
Yes.
kindly,
Yes.
not in the way of imposing guilt or shame,
No.
but just gently. That's to me like, yeah, when we say look at and question, it's not like, oh, you did something wrong,
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
not the point.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
I think also I would have been reluctant to share a story like that, maybe 20 years ago, about myself because,
Yeah.
I was more grasping about who I thought I was. And now it
Yeah.
just doesn't really matter, you know.
Grasping onto your identity. Exactly. Well,
Yes.
because your identity, you can't change it all the
Yes.
time.
Totally.
Yeah, it's
Not beautiful. Mhm.
so I think I want to kind of conclude this conversation with
I
this
think it's a
one
good
question to
idea.
everyone
Yes.
that, just to really think about again, I asked this at the very beginning, what are you holding on to that preventing you from truly living,
Hmm.
right? And then let that go.
Yep. Exactly. Let it go.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of work
Well,
to do again, as always, or good work to do, and self-study.
yeah.
And
Self-study.
yes, yeah. Thank you, Bashak. It's been
Thank you,
wonderful
my
talking to you.
love, and wishing everybody a happy 4th of July.
Yes,
And to you
absolutely.
as well with your family. And
Thank you.
for those who are not in US, wishing you a happy weekend ahead and happy week ahead. And until next time,
Until next time.
bye.
Bye, everybody.
Let's dance with it.
Okay.
We need to find new moves.
I know.